All right. You are tuned in to Transparency and Merit. I'm JP. Brian, two vets argue about John Wayne. We did a show a couple days ago about a statue and
Yes.
all this. What? So I see on your page here the podcast got posted, and then all hell broke loose. Is that what's going on here?
To a degree, I mean, it got a little bit contentious, and I I basically, you know, first the argument, and I wouldn't even call it an argument from my perspective. With me and him, with me and the one veteran, it was just it was more of a disagreement, and his disagreement was rather strong, but it was still a disagreement about him being a draft dodger or a person who evaded the military draft. But then after that, um, two veterans got into it. Saying a statement like that just and he used the F word, being a blank, being an F, being an A. Robert, you are effing. I think it was an effing. A hole. By the way, which armed services did you serve in? I was a brown water Navy, Vietnam. Oh, I bet you weren't. And then the gentleman chose a picture of himself. Did you notice that I am an hour's drive from you? I'll take this offline into the real world anytime you are ready. See here, uh, see here is what is called a decision point. You can keep heading down this road, or you can let it die. You're not used to having your vet card pulled out by another vet, are you? Maybe you should retire to your safe space. And there's a picture of him in his veterans, in his veteran, in his fatigues, in his military fatigues, and I believe in Afghan. It looks like the Middle East. I think it's Afghanistan. Could be wrong. And then the other vet says, the older vet says, standing down, right hand salute. And then he says, I really apologize, one vet to another, for the disrespect. Feel free to totally feel bad. Total respect for you. Thanks for the wake-up call. I ride bikes to Eureka occasionally. If I ever get in town, I would like to buy you a beer. I don't think that's going to be reciprocated, by the way. But I'm going to put this one out here just to show on the page. I hope, like I said, I hope there's no contention by the two gentlemen. It's just an opinion. And I don't know why. Oh, it's been okay. Yeah. So the two gentlemen, both are veterans. The first person did not like John Wayne and felt that John Wayne was a chicken hawk and that he evaded the draft and he did, I guess, support Vietnam. He was very much in favor of us winning the Cold War. Some would say that there's a cold civil war here in America. There's a lot of contention, and it's really the kind of contention by the way, Joe, that I have never in my lifetime seen. And I don't know, and I'm assuming that social media is maybe making it worse. I don't know. I know that cancel culture has been promoted by social media, and if you try to fight cancel culture, you will get canceled. And someone said there is not much of a step, or there's just a few steps between cancel culture and mass murder. I don't know how true that is, but if you choose to censor and cancel people who speak out about news events, you can just do things in the quiet of the day or night, and they'll just say it never happened. It's kind of scary. Joe, do you have anything to add or anything to say?
No, no. I know how these vets get. I've seen some get into some good arguments. They get pretty heated, and they're very, very defensive sometimes. So, yeah, I think that guy did the right thing by standing down.
Well, the guy was the gentleman is younger, so and there's heat between veterans on political sides. I mean, not all veterans are conservatives. Some are liberal, and some support social justice causes. I wish that they didn't. I wish more Americans did not support this kind of social justice. I don't think it's healthy for the country. I want to see robust debate. I think there's a lot of punishment in this country for wrongthink. And you know what? People can have their opinions about John Wayne. You know, they can have their, I guess some people have very negative and some people have very positive feelings about John Wayne. There was a time when the majority of America had very positive views about John Wayne. And you know, I don't know whether or not the majority of Americans are the major. I mean, I believe that the majority of veterans during the Vietnam time and even beyond that had very favorable opinions of John Wayne, and there were a few on the left that did not. I mean, particularly like Oliver Stone, at one time hated John Wayne, and I don't think he does anymore, but he did at one time. I think his time after Vietnam, he kind of hated him. And there are other veterans on the left who hated him. There are many on the left who didn't. And this gentleman, by the way, said he didn't hate John Wayne. He just had a total lack of respect for him. I guess to me that's kind of sad because for me, I mean, John Wayne did have a work ethic. He did suffer cancer, losing a lung, and was still working, and did have a grit attitude. Maybe not as tough as this gentleman, but I don't know what's inside someone's heart. I don't know how strong or weak someone is. And I don't know, like, all of the reasons why John Wayne evaded the draft. I mean, there's a lot of speculation about John Wayne. that book that Scott Eyman wrote, I mean, there were a lot of myths about him even before, like for years, there were things that people thought about John Wayne that were untrue. And there's a lot of people that believe that he is or was a racist. He did say things that were inflammatory and insensitive. Are they racist? I don't know. And I do think that there needs to be discussion on these matters. And there needs to be discussion, like on this whole cancel culture thing. Who decides who gets canceled? And I think just it almost feels like a limited number of elites are deciding whom we honor and who we don't, who we fire and who we don't. People can be fired from their having an altercation with someone of a different race, just being accused of racism, can be fired from their job and potentially be economically blacklisted for having a confrontation. And all of the people who go to speak up against this are also canceled on YouTube, because YouTube is now purging a great number of people. And the people who kind of spoke out against this kind of cancel culture, kind of sad to a degree. And like I said, it's sad that I thought, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just, sorry, I lost my train of thought because I saw something on my Facebook that I thought I had done. Because I was posting this to my Facebook page, and it just kind of, I posted, I thought I was posting the wrong thing, but I didn't. But for me, this whole situation has me kind of an empty feeling inside. Where, all the things, that I thought were correct and right are now just being bulldozed. The respect for law, the respect for due process. I mean, to me, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, those are places for the court of public opinion, and now they're being heavily censored. They're using words like hate speech, but it's only one group that is being charged with hate speech. It's not really equal protection under the law. It also, in my opinion, kind of goes against the 1964 Civil Rights Act, the public accommodations part of that. Even if you're a private company, you're not allowed to discriminate, yet they do it. And someone says that, I'm reading on the board, Brian, nothing has changed. I don't know what you mean by that, Debbie. I'd like you to explain how nothing has changed. I don't understand that. I'm seeing all kinds of changes out there. Some of the apathy out there and some of what I consider to be, I don't know if it's ignorance, but I guess people don't see what's going on. Because I'm seeing changes, drastic changes overnight. I'm seeing protests and activism Okay, so I'm seeing protests and activism in places I've never seen before. And you want me to tell you how I have been shut down? Well, 2 of our shows just got taken off of YouTube. And they have greatly demonetized. And whether it affects me personally or affects those around me, that's not true. That's not true. Debbie is continuing to say nothing has changed. That is not true.
She couldn't be more wrong. We talked about this in March. She said the same thing, and I'm surprised she's turning a blind eye towards.
I don't know where her brain is at. Maybe it's cognitive dissonance. All YouTube channels have been demonetized. You haven't been paying attention. This is kind of pissing me off a little bit. Because obviously you're not paying attention. Again, I can't. Okay, well, number one, if Joe and I wanted to go out into the street and say we wanted to do a thing recognizing Jessica Whitaker, the person who was supposedly shot by BLM, and asking for more coverage, we could be assaulted. No, you're wrong. And don't tell me it's not affecting me. This kind of criminalization.
Hundreds of YouTubers still make tons of money. Well,
yeah, but Jenna Marbles has called off. What are you talking about, Debbie? You're okay. Again, I don't know. Yeah,
I'm not sure where she's coming from here, but there's a lot of that have been affected. I don't know if
tons of Stefan Mullen has been called off. Amazing. I mean, I think it's Amazing Atheist has been called off. Has been banned off of YouTube. Oh no, I'm sorry. Atheist is Unstoppable. Unstoppable has been taken off of YouTube.
Huh.
So I don't know what you're talking about. This has to be cognitive dissonance right here. You're just being contrarian to be contrarian. It's just silly. Arguing you is silly. No, it's not. No, it's not. Like it's like I'm arguing. It's like you're being a child. Not what a grown adult. A grown adult sees what's happening, and isn't just contrarian. It's a bunch of nonsense. Sorry, Debbie, but that's nonsense.
Quit talking nonsense, Debbie. Get with the program.
Yeah, but no, I mean, look,
No, we're not major players. We're small, but the thing is, we're still affected. We have to watch what we say, even at our small level. If we're not careful with what we say, we're not able to promote some of our shows. We're not able to monetize, and we're small, but we're making efforts. The old way of exerting whatever it is, creative ways of trying to build a show up have definitely changed.
I'll tell you something, Joe. I don't mind honesty, but this is just you're telling us stuff that we already know. We're not. I understand that we're not major players. Understand.
Why does Debbie want to argue with you anyways? I don't understand the whole point of getting into an argument.
She's just being contrarian to be,
Debbie,
it's not
being contrarian,
and it's meaningless.
I understand how to get monetized on YouTube. You don't need 10,000. No, you don't. You need 2,000. But I understand we're not at the level to get monetized on YouTube, but that's a change. It used to be different. It used to be you can get on here and do super chats. They changed that. The threshold now is 2,000 subs. It's getting harder, and you know what? It's getting harder because they know the only way to get on. I think people like me, I prefer to get on YouTube only to talk about, I want to express my opinion. I want to go down paths maybe that other shows haven't gone down. Not to be contrarian, there's no point in saying the same thing over and over again.
It's also stupid saying to argue only things that affect me directly. Certainly, things can affect me down the line. If the neighbor's house is on fire, it's not affecting me, but it could.
Right.
Cancel culture could affect anybody.
Censorship affects everybody. How could you say censorship isn't affecting everybody? Are you kidding me? We've had more than 2 shows. We've had like 4 shows affected by censorship.
I've been threatened with hate speech.
We've had threats.
Yeah.
So to say it hasn't affected us, that's not true.
I've had people who threatened to sue me and threatened to take down my Twitter page. So
we didn't quit podcasting like you, Debbie. We kept going.
It's just she's just being. I mean, it's a stupid argument.
It is.
Let me ask you this: something has to.
I don't like arguing with our peers. That's ridiculous. It's the dumbest thing on earth.
Tell me how you've been shut down. What difference does that make? So I can't talk about. I have to talk about things that affect me directly. We were shut down from Blog Talk Radio. Give me a break, man. It's just, I don't know what.
And we can. Well, I'll be straight up. If we wanted to promote certain shows of ours, we cannot promote them. We've gotten denied.
Yeah.
They won't even take our money to promote our shows on certain platforms. So that's a change that has directly shut us down in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only way we're going to, by promoting our own stuff, that's the only way we're really going to, anybody's ever going to find us. They're not going to just search for transparency and merit. We got to go find them. And if we can't go find them, that's a direct hit to what we're doing. Absolutely.
I guess. Well, Again, what's the point? Well, I don't know why. I don't know why Debbie is bringing this up now. It's like
I know it's crazy. It's like don't
it's
listen
really
to him.
it's
Don't
really
listen, Debbie. If you got a phone to him.
it's really obnoxious.
It's a beyond obnoxious. That's why we don't cater to, we're catering to YouTube. We're not catering to you. We're going out and we're trying to find other people to come and listen. That's all.
And maybe they won't listen. I don't know. You're
Here's
being
the honest. So what? We already know. We already know everything. We know all this stuff.
You know what? You know what you need to do as an adult to learn to have a filter. No, I can't handle. You know what? I can't handle adults that act like children. Childish comment.
Wants to fight.
It's just childishness. How does it affect you?
Fighting your peers doesn't get you to the next level, Debbie. You should know that by now.
It's just childishness.
If you keep running into the same wall over and over again, maybe you should maybe open the door.
No, I said before, and you're not listening to what I'm saying. I can't handle childishness. You need a filter to discern whether or not the subject matter that you're saying is even relevant and not foolish. Good. I'm glad I'm not your peer. I'm a grown person that acts like an adult. I don't come in with childish statements.
Bottom line, she's our peer. We've been doing shows the same stupid bullshit networks, and we've kind of reached out and tried to trying different things. Spreaker and Blog Talk Radio did nothing really to didn't push us ahead. We got a few people that we like. They come and check us out. And I think we're all in the same boat. When I say peer, it means you have a show, your show, even if you have a few more subs, great. We're still kind of in the same boat. We're just kind of drifting along and trying to figure out solutions. We understand the problems.
If you're good,
it's nonsense. No, it's not true. It's not true. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. You could have the best podcast in the world, and if you don't do the legwork to go get those people to listen, you're not going to get them. Word doesn't travel like that. I'm sorry, it doesn't. It's very hard. It's very hard to change somebody's. It's so hard to change somebody's podcast listening habit. It's like, I mean, I only listen to a couple of podcasts religiously. After all these years, I'm like very dedicated to a couple podcasts. I listen to them every week. I don't miss a beat on those. Try to throw another podcast into that mix. It's got to be good. It's got to be something that I want to listen to. It's got to be something I relate to, and that happens occasionally. But if we're not able to go out and find those people, if we're shut down, that's a change. That's a bad change. And if we're sitting around squabbling with our peers, and I say I say that the word loosely, but we're all running into the same issues. So how does that help if we're cutting each other's ankles off every time we talk?
I think it seems like, by the way, someone is a little bit on the manic side, perhaps.
Maybe the heat, maybe a little heat stroke.
This is this is almost like a manic episode. It's like this is like all of a sudden the woman from the woman from was it a little baby? Was it whatever happened to Baby Jane came into the room? How does it affect you? How do you know all? How do you know all? How does anything affect you? What are you talking about? I'm just typing. You're talking. Everything
I'm under your skin.
Dance, monkey, dance.
You can't breathe, Brian. You can't breathe.
Oh, you know something.
Brian knows how to push buttons. Starts calling people psychiatric terms.
You know what? I just said she
DSM
sounds like
menu.
she's having a vicious and vindictive manic episode. I could be completely wrong, but this is out of left field.
This is not medical advice. Between her and
I
Angela,
was being honest, Debbie. Can I be honest? Can we all be honest together? Hmm?
Angela just wanted to shove Beasley's wheelchair off of a bridge. There's like no difference.
Uh,
She wants to throw your steak into the river.
I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand where all this hostility, man. It's just like,
I don't understand it. It doesn't work. So what's Debbie's mission? Is it to fight with people and try to tell them how bad they suck, or is she trying to move forward?
She got to me with her foolishness. I mean, it's just they were in so. I mean, look, I can understand constructive criticism if it comes from a place that's intelligent.
Yeah.
But this is not an intelligent place. It's just a place of this is how I feel, and I don't have a filter. And whether she means to be constructive or not, you know, I don't have a filter, and
I'm being constructive. Oh, here, Angela.
I'm just being destructive. I'm giving you destructive criticism. It's like you should give constructive criticism. How does it affect you? And it's just not even an argument. How does it affect you? It's just what do you care? It's like grow up, man. That's such a childish argument. You know, the next time you have a show and you're doing a topic, I'll say, "What do you care? How does it affect you?" It affects me. When people get canceled or fired or what, because I could have an altercation with somebody and be accused of being a racist, and then I have not much leg to stand on. Give me a break. Yeah. I mean, look, that's just, you know what, Joe?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this just came out of left field. I was talking about two veterans, and then all of a sudden, Debbie came in the room. And, yeah, you know what?
Frankville, not canceled. That's right. Hashtag it.
And Debbie, and then Political Woodstock says, "Well, the Klan likes my ideas, but I don't like the Klan. Klan can take my ideas.
They're very popular with the Klan.
Yeah, the Klan can take the Ku Klux Klan can take all the ideas they want from me, but I have nothing to do with those guys. I'm not. I don't believe in I don't believe in what they stand for on many levels." And I think the Klan, by the way, and I could be wrong on this, but I think they were designated a terrorist organization in the 70s. I could absolutely be wrong on that. But when people say why, like about Antifa being a terrorist organization, and they go, why wasn't the Klan or isn't the Klan? Antifa, I mean, the Klan was designated as a terrorist organization in the 70s.
Angela probably looks better with the pointy hat outfit on.
Well, her and Debbie got into some very heated discussions over the years. And look, I'm not going down that road. I really don't even have a problem with Debbie, but the way she acted today was not good. And she didn't call in, but it was like, what are you doing? Debbie is all right now. I don't know. Yes, that may be the case, but she could cure. I think if I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news.
What's that?
Angela has avoided the COVID. I don't know how.
Yes.
What's up, Todd Morris? I've been missing your show lately. I hope it's still on.
Well,
haven't checked out Prankville lately, but damn, best show on YouTube.
That show is probably the most offensive out there.
Very funny.
And it is very offensive, by the way. I'm surprised it is out there because it does use extraordinarily inflammatory language. And like I said, I'm not in favor of BLM or the Klan. I think they're both toxic organizations, and they are filled with fanaticism. And I am against fanaticism. I'm in favor of free speech and all forms of speech. And there are people who say freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequences. I kind of want to add to that. Who decides what the consequences are? Who decides who gets punished and who doesn't? And who decides how someone gets punished? That's my thought, Joe. Joe, is there anything else to add? Because I have to use the restroom.
Let's get everybody to sub this channel. Sub away. And join us again for Transparency and Merit. Brian, anything else?
You know what? At the end of the thing, the guy did ask the gentleman for a beer. I do hope that happens. I hope the two gentlemen go out for a beer and make amends. It may not happen. I like to see things resolved in the most peaceful manner. Like I said, I would also like the younger vet to maybe rethink his thing on John Wayne. He may not. And he may have some reasons for that. But like I said, if you're going to come, I mean, look, you can say whatever you want. I believe in freedom of speech. Debbie's freedom of speech. But I had my freedom of speech too. And it was like, it was kind of the questions were a little bit insulting. How does it affect me? Like, I've heard that argument from reporters, and like, first of all, that question, how does it affect me? Things don't have to affect me for me to talk about them, first of all. Second of all, it does affect me because it could happen. It affects me because it affects my psyche, and it's something that could happen to me. All right, that'll do it. Like and subscribe. Thank you.
All right. And that's it.
Yeah.